Hello. अरे अनन्या, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
ମୁଁ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ତ?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
हाँ ठीक ଅଛି. Welcome to all of you, my dear students. This is a special class of Vedanta, which I was interested to take as an extra class. So our students are very much interested to learn Vedanta because that is the way of life. Of course, there is a discussion about Vedanta in Indian philosophy. But when we take Vedanta from the core of our heart with interest, with Shraddha, that helps us in our practical life, not only in academic life, in our practical life. Philosophy in our culture, in Indian culture, is called Darshana. What is Darshana? The meaning of Darshana is Tattva Jnana. Darshana means Tattva Jnana. There is another word, Samyak Darshana. Samyak Darshana means, particularly in Vedanta, we can understand that it is Atma Tattva Jnana. Atma Tattva Jnana. That means the highest wisdom, the knowledge that is liberative by nature, the knowledge that can liberate us. This is darshan. This is not ordinary philosophy as we discuss in Western tradition. This is not only conceptual analysis. This is something that can build your character, that can change your life, that can bring self-transformation in your life. This is darshan. And today we are going to discuss the best treatise of Adi Shankaracharya, that is Viveka Chudamani. Viveka Chudamani. Chudamani or Maudamani. That means the highest treatise, the greatest treatise. Viveka means the Viveda, that means the discriminative knowledge. The knowledge that discriminates between truth and appearance, Atma, Anatma, reality and unreality. People are joining. Okay. So that is Viveka Jnana. This is dialectical by nature. Dialectical in the sense, our knowledge should not be one-sided. For example, if we say Brahma, Satya, Jagat, Mithya, it appears to be one-sided. Simply Brahman is truth. One will become spiritual. One will neglect the material world. One will neglect the practical life. That is one-sided. Dialectical means we give importance to both the sides, both the opposite sides. Suppose you are living in an empirical world, you live in this world. At the same time, you should be aware of the falsity of this world. Suppose you are aware of the truth, that Brahman is truth. That does not mean you will neglect your practical life. You will neglect your bounden duty. You will neglect your obligations, empirical obligations. You will neglect your common duties, daily duties. Therefore, dialectical understanding means understanding of all possibilities, all the aspects of something. Suppose uh, in Darsana we are discussing Tattva Gyan. We are knowledge oriented. We seek wisdom, but we should also understand what is ignorance. If you do not know what is ignorance, you cannot assess what is knowledge. If you do not understand what is bondage, you cannot know what is liberation. This is mukhya, this is mukti, this is freedom. Then a student should know that what is bondage, what binds me, what binds me. So Viveka means Viveda. So we should know the discrimination. We should have the discriminate knowledge between truth and falsity, between ignorance, knowledge, between bondage, liberation. And dialectical understanding is the understanding of both the opposites. Ignorance, at the same time, we have to understand knowledge. In Isha Upanishad, there is a beautiful verse, 9th verse, Vidya and Avidya. We have to know both Vidya and Avidya, otherwise your knowledge is incomplete. You have to know both bondage and liberation, otherwise your perfection is incomplete. You cannot be perfect if you do not know both the opposites. This is dialectical understanding. So in the beginning, we shall start with the first verse that speaks about the invocation, the prayer. Prayer to whom? The prayer to the teacher. Prayer to the Lord. That when I am going to study anything, when I am going to learn anything, that may become successful. Successful in the course of learning and successful after learning. Successful in my life. Govindacharya was the teacher of Adi Sankaracharya. So Sankaracharya is worshipping, is praying, is conveying his obeisance to his teacher, Govindacharya. And his teacher is Gaudapad. So this is Guru Parampara. So when we learn something or we teach something, we study something, we should obey the order of this Parampara. We should have respect for the scriptures and teachers. Otherwise, we cannot be successful in learning, in teaching, and in living our life. Our practical life is very precious because this is the field, this is the time, and our body is the field, our mind is the source through which we can study the scriptures and we can understand the truth. We can realize the truth. We can have self-realization and we can become the truth. Knowing the truth and we become the truth. Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tam Agocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurung Pranantaha Asmi Aham. This is the first invocation. This treatise, Viveka Chudamani, starts with this invocation. Sankaracharya is a great scholar, but he is starting his study with this invocation to his teacher. It has two meanings. Govindacharya is his teacher. Govinda also means Lord. So the same name refers to the teacher and also the Lord. So invocation is invocation. So when we are praying, the same prayer goes to the teacher as well as the Lord. that who are you? Who are you means who, the teacher. Who are you? Now you are beyond all the instruments of knowing, and you are such a personality. You can be known through the study of scriptures. You can be known through the study of scriptures, and you are beyond all the instruments of knowing. So at your altar, I convey my obeisance. I pray. I salute you. Please accept my salutation. That our course, our study should be fruitful. Why it is? Why it is? Why we do that? Because in our culture, whenever you do something, we first pray, because we believe that many types of difficulties may come and obstruct our way. So it is a prayer to address those difficulties, that no difficulties may obstruct my way of learning. With this sense of devotion, so a learner, a student, a disciple should start his study. So the first verse of Viveka Chudamani speaks about invocation. It's a prayer. And the second verse is a very beautiful verse that speaks about the evolution of human personality. Evolution of human personality. We simply say that you are all human beings. You all appear to be same human being, but you are all different in your varna, in your color, as we discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. That your colors are different, your thought processes are different. Colors means the colors of personality. Your sanskaras are different, but you all appear to be the same human being. And if you take the entire creation, all the creatures into account, then what is the position of a man? What is the status of a man in this creation? So here, Shankaracharya is giving different steps of evolution of life. Jantunam narajanma durlabham ataha pustam tato viprataha. Jantunam, there are 4 steps here in this first line. Jantunam, that means those who only believe in birth and death. Jantu, that means which is janma, that means birth. You have taken birth, then it is granted, then you will die. Many creatures, they simply take birth and they die. They don't have any philosophy. They don't have any perception of hallucinations. They simply take birth and die. This is the status of living. You will take birth and you will die. Among these, those who take birth and die, Durlabha, that means most precious creature is Narajanma, that means human life. Human life is most precious. Pustam means you are a man. But the question is whether you have Purusattva or not. Purusattva. You have manliness or not. Manliness. Purusattva. Whether you are a Purusa or not. Here Purusa is not the gender. Here Purusa is a quality. So what is Nari? Nari is a quality. That means a male person may have a Nari quality. Nari quality means who is very fickle. Which not, Nari means fickle. Nari means affectionate. Those who are too much affectionate, they may not have a very strong mindset, commitment. That means a nari who is a nari by gender may have purushatva. Similarly, a purusha having the being male in gender may not have a purushatva. Then you are a male person, but you have a feminine attitude. Then you are not serious. Purushatva that you should have. That means among the human beings, Narajanma is dullabha, that is precious. But among them, those who have purushatva, manly nature, they are better. They are better. Tataha viprata means among those who have purushatva, very few are Brahmin. Very few are Brahmin. Here Brahmin is not a caste. Here Brahmin is a color. That means every man should be a Brahmin. Brahmin means having a sattvic mind. You have all these three qualities, Raja, Sattva, Raja, Tama qualities, but taking birth, Jantunam, being a man, then having Purushatva, then having Viprata. That means you should have the that Brahmin quality. That means your mind should be very positive. Your mind should be sattvic by nature. That mind will be interested to know the Tattva Jnana. If your mind is not sattvic, you cannot have darsana, you cannot have Tattva Jnana. Brahmin means sattvic mind. Unagitated mind, the mind which is not agitated, which is not disturbed, that is sattvic mind. That is sattvic mind. Viprata. Tasmad Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata Vidwatam. Then comes Vidwatam. That means you must be Vidwan. Viprata. And that means you have an attitude to learn. Viprata means you have an attitude to learn. Your mind is sattvic. But for what? After that, you shall become a Vidwan. That means you attain that wisdom. You attain that wisdom. So here, these are the steps. Jantunam Narajanma Dullabham Ataha Punstvam Tato Viprata Tasmat Vaidika Dharma Marga Parata Vidyatam Asmat Param. You have to follow the Vedic instructions, and after that you will become a Vidwan, you will become a man of wisdom. Viprata means you have an attitude to learn. You have an attitude to learn. Vidwan means you have attained that knowledge, you have attained that wisdom. Attitude of learning, then you attained that wisdom. So among human beings there are many steps. After Jantunam, Narajanma Dullabham, in this there are many steps. The man who has a Purushatva or manly nature, who has a sense of commitment, who is committed to the values, who has strength, and then Viprata, that means his mind is sattvic by nature. His mind is sattvic by nature. His mind is very much positive. He does not allow any negativity. He does not want to pollute his mind by any way. And then he becomes a Vidwan. Atmanatma Vivechanam. After being a Vidwan, what he does? Atma and Anatma. Atma means what is permanent. Anatma means what is not permanent, what is temporary. What is absolute? Something is absolute and something is changing. Atma, na atma, vivechanang, je vivechan karipare, je understand, he who can understand. He who can understand, who can discriminate what is Atma and what is Anatma, what is permanent, what is temporary. So Anubhavaha Brahmatmana Sanstiti, Brahma Atmana Sanstiti. Tar artha hala Brahma, that means the outside reality. Atman, the inside reality. That means that Atman, this is the highest knowledge. After being Vidwan, what knowledge you will get? Knowledge is this, and this knowledge will continue in the entire deities. What is that knowledge? The Atman that is within me, that is within me, that is also in everything. This is the highest knowledge. This is Brahma Jnana. This is called Brahmatmana Sanstiti. Brahma Atmana Sanstiti. I am that Atman, the Atman that is in me, that is in me, that is also in everything. That is also in everything. One can attain this knowledge after all these steps. And that life is precious life. And that is possible in case of a human being. In case of a man, that man can attain that knowledge, that highest knowledge. Mukti na satajanma koti sukrutai punya bina labhyate. That artha hoji, that means in hundreds of life, whatever you have done, you cannot attain mukti, you cannot attain liberation without having this highest knowledge. People desire to live 100 years. People desire not to die. So how many years you lived? How many years you enjoyed this worldly life? That's not important. This lifespan of a Vivekananda Sankaracharya was very, very small. 39 years Vivekananda and 33 years Sankaracharya. They have studied everything in this small, and their contribution is tremendous. They have contributed a lot to the society. So how many years you lived in this world, it's not important. What is the quality of your life? What is the contribution of your life? What you did, what you realized, that is important. So in this verse, we are introduced with the different steps of human life, different status of a human life. That we should think, should I die like an ordinary man? As I have taken birth, so I must die. So death is a must. But the question is, should I die as an ordinary man or as an extraordinary man? This is the question. So the highest perfection is the highest knowledge, that I know my identity. I know my identity. That is a shadow identity crisis in our society. That he is a PhD, therefore he is a doctor, he is a professor, he is a, that identity crisis. Karna was suffering from that. The entire life of a Karna was affected by this identity crisis, that I need my identity. I should have my genuine father, genuine mother. That is my identity. But here identity is not that. You should know your identity means you should know who you are, that I am that Brahman. This is the identity. I misidentify myself with that I am attached. Because I have this body, I am attached with my body. There, I wrongly think that I am this body. Whole life I take care of this. I feel proud of my body. I am my mind. I am my buddhi. I am so intelligent. I am proud of my intelligence. I think that I am so and so. I am my body. I am my mind. This is misapprehension. There are two things. One is non-apprehension and the other is misapprehension. I do not know who I am. Non-apprehension. Sometimes I wrongly know what I am, who I am. This is misapprehension. I do not know. I do not know who I am. Sometimes I wrongly know who I am. That I am really Brahman. This is my real identity. But I mistake myself to be my body or my mind or my status or my position, etc. etc. So, and in the third verse, Dullabham Trayam Eva Ettat Vedanugraha Hetukam Manuswatam Mumukhatam Mahapurusha Sansraya. Here it is said that what is that preciousness? Why human life is precious? That what is that dullabha? Why human life is precious? There are three things. One is manuswatva. Man has manuswatva. Mumukhatam means the intense desire to be free. To be free. Mumukhatam. Mukhya. Mukti. And Mahapurusha Sansraya. That means to be associated with good people. Satsanga. These three are precious for human beings. Dullabha. Animals can't do this. Purushatva, that means I can follow the Purusartha. I can follow the Purusartha. I can exercise my self-effort to excel myself, to be good, to be better, to be the best. That Purushatva I have. That means I have an ability to follow the Purusarthas, the values of life, the instructions of life. I have that commitment, I have that self-effort. That is dullabha, that is precious. And the second thing is, I have an intense desire, intrinsic desire, inbuilt desire, very deep desire, unconditional desire to be free, to attain freedom. I am telling you one thing here, dear students. Every creature seeks freedom. So this is not a great thing for man. Even a dog does not want to be tethered. Tethered means to be chained. A dog does not want. A parrot does not want to be be kept in the cage. That also needs freedom. The highest desire of man to be free. Man is freedom seeking by nature. Freedom seeking. Every man wants freedom. But freedom from what? This is not the ordinary freedom. There is freedom and also there is responsibility. I am telling one thing. We have pet dog. But that pet dog moves freely. It is not chained. It is not chained. The dog can sit and can sleep anywhere it likes. That means the dog does not need more buildings. That one building in Puri, another building in Cuttack, like human beings. If the owner has a very small building, thatched house, one room even, then the dog is satisfied. But in that small room, the dog wants to move freely. The dog wants to move freely. So, freedom seeking is the natural tendency of all creatures. No creature wants to be bound, to be bound by anything else. But here mumukhatva means that I shall be free from the worldly allurements, worldly bondage. I shall attain that freedom. I shall attain mukhya, mukti. This is that is called parama purusartha. Dharma, artha, kama, mukhya. Out of these four purusarthas, mukhya is the parama purusartha. That is the ultimate goal of a life. You can attain all perfections like dharma, artha, kama, all these, but the ultimate goal of life is purusartha, that is the mukhya, that is the parama purusartha. And the third one is that man should live with good people. Man should be associated with good people. Satsanga. I always believe that when we get any opportunity for having satsanga, such type of discussion that we are discussing and you are listening, even in the classroom, those who do not attend classes regularly, they are unfortunate, because all these things added values in your life. So only the fortunate ones can attend satsanga. So if in your lifespan you are associated with good people, virtuous people, honest people, then your life is really dullabha. That is a precious life. Birds of the same feather flock together. If you are associated with bad people, your sanskara will be bad. Your association will be polluted. And your karmas will be negative. And you will attain bad karma phala. Okay? And we shall now come to the fourth and fifth verse. In fourth and fifth verse, there are two questions. Two questions are asked. Goal is tremendous. They have studied everything in this small, and their contribution is tremendous. They have contributed a lot to the society. So how many years you lived in this world, it's not important. What is the quality of your life? What is the contribution of your life? What you did, what you realized, that is important. So in this verse, we are introduced with the different steps of human life, different status of a human life. That we should think, should I die like an ordinary man? As I have taken birth, so I must die. So death is a must. But the question is, should I die as an ordinary man or as an extraordinary man? This is the question. So the highest perfection is the highest knowledge, that I know my identity. I know my identity. That is a shadow identity crisis in our society. That he is a PhD, therefore he is a doctor, he is a professor, he is a, that identity crisis. Karna was suffering from that. The entire life of a Karna was affected by this identity crisis, that I need my identity. I should have my genuine father, genuine mother. That is my identity. But here identity is not that. You should know your identity means you should know who you are, that I am that Brahman. This is the identity. I misidentify myself with that I am attached. Because I have this body, I am attached with my body. I wrongly think that I am this body. Whole life I take care of this. I feel proud of my body. I am my mind. I am my buddhi. I am so intelligent. I am proud of my intelligence. I think that I am so and so. I am my body. I am my mind. This is misapprehension. There are two things. One is non-apprehension and the other is misapprehension. I do not know who I am. Non-apprehension. Sometimes I wrongly know what I am, who I am. This is misapprehension. I do not know. I do not know who I am. Sometimes I wrongly know who I am. That I am really Brahman. This is my real identity. But I mistake myself to be my body or my mind or my status or my position, etc. etc. So, and in the third verse, दुर्लभम त्रयम एव एतत् वेदानुग्रह हेतुकम मनुष्यत्वं मुमुक्षत्वं महापुरुष संश्रय. Here it is said that what is that preciousness? Why human life is precious? That what is that durlabha? Why human life is precious? There are three things. One is manushyattva. Man has manushyattva. Mumukhyatvam means the intense desire to be free. To be free. Mumukhyatvam. Mukhya. Mukti. And Mahapurusha Sansraya. That means to be associated with good people. Satsanga. These three are precious for human beings. Dullabha. Animals can't do this. Purushattva, that means I can follow the Purushartha. I can follow the Purushartha. I can exercise my self-effort to excel myself, to be good, to be better, to be the best. That Purushattva I have. That means I have an ability to follow the Purusharthas, the values of life, the instructions of life. I have that commitment, I have that self-effort. That is Dullabha, that is precious. And the second thing is, I have an intense desire, intrinsic desire, inbuilt desire, very deep desire, unconditional desire to be free, to attain freedom. I am telling you one thing here, dear students. Every creature seeks freedom. So this is not a great thing for man. Even a dog does not want to be tethered. Tethered means to be chained. A dog does not want. A parrot does not want to be kept in the cage. That also needs freedom. The highest desire of man to be free. Man is freedom seeking by nature. Freedom seeking. Every man wants freedom. But freedom from what? This is not the ordinary freedom. There is freedom and also there is responsibility. I am telling you one thing. We have pet dog. But that pet dog moves freely. It is not chained. It is not chained. The dog can sit and can sleep anywhere it likes. That means the dog does not need more buildings. That one building in Puri, another building in Cuttack, like human beings. If the owner has a very small building, thatched house, one room even, then the dog is satisfied. But in that small room, the dog wants to move freely. The dog wants to move freely. So, freedom seeking is the natural tendency of all creatures. No creature wants to be bound, to be bound bound by anything else. But here mumukhatva means that I shall be free from the worldly allurements, worldly bondage. I shall attain that freedom. I shall attain mukhya, mukti. This is the high, that is called parama purusartha. Dharma, artha, kama, mukhya. Out of these four purusarthas, mukhya is the parama purusartha. That is the ultimate goal of a life. You can attain all perfections like dharma, artha, kama, all these, but the ultimate goal of life is purusartha, that is the mukhya, that is the parama purusartha. And the third one is that man should live with good people. Man should be associated with good people. Satsanga. I always believe that when we get any opportunity for having satsanga, such type of discussion that we are discussing and you are listening, even the classroom, those who do not attend classes regularly, they are unfortunate because all these things added values in our life. So only the fortunate ones can attend satsanga. So if in your lifespan you are associated with good people, virtuous people, honest people, then your life is really dullabha. That is a precious life. Birds of the same feather flock together. If you are associated with bad people, your sanskara will be bad. Your association will be polluted. And your karmas will be negative. And you will attain bad karma phala. Okay? And we shall now come to the fourth and fifth verse. In fourth and fifth verse, there are two questions. Two questions are asked. Labdhva kathanchit narajanma dullabham tatra api pustvang shruti paradarshanam yah tu atma mukto na etata mudhadhi sa hi atmaha swam vinihanti asatgrahat. So here my 1 minute, my dog came. So I am just after 1 minute. I am. तुरंत दियो तब दे दो साडू दे सूप ही जो से मैं आउ दे तू करे जा सेपरेट कर लाल जा तो कैप्टन गुरु if there is any person who being a man and attaining purusarthas and knowledge not to be ready for self-realization, this is a question. In the fourth verse, the question is asked that suppose a person came to know that he is a human being and he has attained all purusarthas, he has attained knowledge. then will not be he ready for self-realization? This is a question. That means it is very natural that who is born man, having purusartha, attaining knowledge, must seek for self-realization. So in this verse, this much is discussed. And the fifth verse is also another question: who can be more than that idiot? That means that stupid, that having rare human body, having this rare human body and manly ability, purushotva, manly ability, even neglects to attain his own freedom. If you have purusartha, you have ability to exert your self-effort to attain perfection in life, then will you not desire for freedom? Mumukhatam, mumukhatam, that desire for freedom, makhya, you should desire or not? These two questions are there. Now this sixth verse is very important. Here it is said, Vadantu shastrani, jajantu devan, kurbantu karmani, bhajantu devataha, atmakahi bodhena bina muktihi na siddhati brahma satantare. That means Vadantu shastrani. That means you may read so many scriptures. You may read so many scriptures. Jajantu devan, for gods you may perform so many yajnas. Kurbantu karmani, you may perform so many good karmas. Bhajantu devataha, you may worship so many gods. So many gods. You will not attain that mukhya, because it is Sankaracharya. Sankaracharya is giving importance to knowledge. He is saying that without self-knowledge, without Atma Jnana, without that highest knowledge, even if you do all these things, but now you are an exponent of Vedanta, you are well versed in Bhagavad Gita, you are well versed in all scriptures, and jajantu, you always do karma and you perform different types of yajnas, puja. Kurbantu karmani, you do all types of good karmas also. Bhajantu devataha, and you worship gods. Still, you cannot attain that vimukti. Vimukti means vishesha mukti. Vimukti means vishesha mukti. That means you are free from the root of your suffering. Not only you are free from your suffering, you are free from the root of your suffering. Even the roots are also removed. The root that causes you suffer, that root is also removed. That is not vimukti. That vimukti is not possible through all these. All these, if you do not have self-realization, atmakai bodhena, that you should understand that atma tattva, that self-knowledge, that self-realization. And the seventh verse, it is said that it is crystal clear that one cannot attain amrita, that means mukti, by doing good karma and by possessing wealth. Here, this verse is giving importance to wealth. Another attempt of a man, that if I can have much wealth, bank balance, etc., so many buildings, wealth. Amritasya na asa asti bitena, bitena means dhana, bitena eva hi shruti brabiti karmanaha muktehe ahetuttam skuttam yataha. Skuttam means it is crystal clear. It is very much clear that you cannot attain mukti, you cannot attain that freedom even by possessing more wealth. If your entire life is lost in accumulating wealth, because many people do that. They only think that life is meant for enjoyment through wealth. But by money, you can purchase the bed, not the sleep. You can purchase a very beautiful bed, but you cannot purchase the sleep, sound sleep. By money, you can purchase food, but you cannot purchase the satisfaction. By money, you can purchase buildings, but you cannot purchase homely peace, home life. So, money is not everything. Wealth is not everything. Wealth is necessary. Money is necessary for life, but money is not everything. So, by wealth also, you cannot attain that freedom. So, that freedom is necessary. Vimukti, that Vishesha Mukti is necessary. That freedom is your ultimate goal. That is your Parama Purusartha. But that is never attained by all these things. But mistakenly we believe that if we do good karma, if we just do good karma, then we shall be liberated. And we are also studying Karma Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. That if you do Karma Yoga, you will be liberated. If you do Yajnas, many people believe that performing Yajna, that they can be liberated. They can attain peace. They can attain Ananda. Many people believe that by worshipping God, by visiting temples, they can attain liberation. And many people believe, in addition to this verse, that if we accumulate more wealth, then we can get liberation. We can attain mukhya or mukti. That means it is advice to the seekers. It is advice to everybody that this is not the goal of your life. The means that you are adopting to attain that perfection, these means are wrong, bad means. These are not the accurate means. That means only jnana. You may have less wealth. You may not do yajna. You may not go to temple. You may not worship any god. Okay, and you should do good karma, because once you attain the knowledge, you cannot stop yourself doing karma. So doing karma is necessary, but without knowledge it is blind. If you do not understand what you are doing, then that will not help you. So good karma is not rejected, but you should have to know what for you are doing. Suppose even if you are doing good karma, you are also bound, because you do not have the sense of a niskama. You are doing charity, but you have a kartrutva bhava, that I am giving charity, I am doing this yajna, I am doing good work. So good work will also bind you. If you do not have atma jnana, that I am not the doer, I am not the karta, I am not the agent, that Lord is the agent. I am simply an instrument. I am simply an instrument. One should have this sense. So that is jnana. So niskama is jnana. If you are doing your karma in the sense of a niskama, that means you are a jnani. A jnani is doing this type of karma. A jnani can perform niskama karma. An ajnani will perform sakama karma. That I am doing good karma in the sense of society. In the eye of society, this karma is good because I am doing charity. But you have a sense of kartrutva bhava, that you are doing it, you are doing it, you are doing it. I am doing, I am doing, I am doing, I am doing. I am doing for my child. I am doing for my grandson. So this type of a karma, even if it is good, even if it is good, it cannot lead you, it cannot give you that freedom, that sense of freedom. Even your karma will bind you. Your karma will bind you. Then the verse 8, Ataha bimuktai prayateta vidwan sanyasta bahyartha sukhasprahasan santang mahantang samupetya desikam tena upadishtartha samahitatma. That means, here comes a very beautiful point, that what should we do? That we have to perform our duties, we have to perform our, we have to obey follow the social obligations, we have to do our duties, but we should have a sense of withdrawal, that is pratyahara. That means our mind, our sense organs should withdraw itself from the outward manifestation, outward pleasures, outward attractions. So the empirical world is necessary for me, but the empirical world cannot be a bondage for me, should not be a bondage for me. I shall live in this world, I shall do all my duties, but at the same time, I shall be free from all these things. How is it possible? The sense organs that are attached to the worldly things should be withdrawn, should be withdrawn. The mind that is getting attached to the different types of attachment, different types of obligations, duties, that should be withdrawn from that. That sense of withdrawal, that is called pratyahara in Patanjali Yoga. Patanjali Rishi says that that is pratyahara. That means your mind should know both the functions, that it can be attached, and at the same time it should know how to be detached. This same mind that can be attached at the same time can be detached. So attachment and detachment are psychological. If we are attached to the worldly things, then it is very clear that we are detached from the supreme truth. If we are detached from the empirical reality, then it is very clear we are attached to the supreme truth. So we have three gunas, sattva, raja and tama guna. So if we are detached from tama and raja, then automatically our sattva guna will be increased. Our positivity will be increased. Our desire to know that truth, the ultimate truth, to become free, that will be increased in our personality. So we should try prajatnaha, prayateta means we should try vidwan. So being vidwan, we should try to free ourselves from the outward manifestations, from the outward attachments. So how can you attain that truth, that ultimate truth? The means is that you should be detached from where you are attached wrongly. You think that you are this body, so you are attached to your body. So your body is the outward manifestation, that is the outside of yourself. So you should be free from your bodily attachment. You wrongly think that you are your mind. That is a wrong misapprehension, and you are attached to your mind that I am so and so. So you should be free from your attachment with the mind. You think that you are your Viveka or Buddhi, and you wrongly identify yourself with your Buddhi. So you should be free from that from your buddhi, because you are not that. Neither you are your body, nor you are your mind, nor you are your buddhi. So what you are? Now you are that Atman, you are that consciousness, supreme consciousness, which is never divided, which is never divided, which is never polluted, which is never negative, which is all inclusive. So I am that and I shall become that. I am that and I shall become that. And in Vedanta it is said, how can you become? You can become simply by knowing. Simply by knowing. Very simple method. What you know, you should become. If you knew something, you became something. So knowing is becoming. Brahmavid, Brahmeva Bhavat. That knowing is not the ordinary knowing. That is the wisdom. That knowing is self-realization. That is free from all types of sansaya, all types of doubts, all types of doubts means all types of questions, all types of confusions. You are absolutely free. So you have your body, you have your mind, you have your buddhi, and all these instruments help you know something, but you are not that. These are all your instruments. So having a human body, next verse we shall discuss. Having your human body, you should do something better, because the self-realization is not possible in the body of an animal, in the body of a tree. Self-realization is possible is only in the human body. In that sense, you have a human body that is the lover, that is precious. Similarly, you have a human mind. That mind has the scope for understanding the reality, having the dialectical understanding. Dialectical understanding is possible only for a human mind. So you are endowed with such a beautiful mind. That mind can make you feel liberated. That mind is so precious. And beyond your mind, you have the buddhi, that is the discriminative power, that you have the ability to discriminate between good and bad, dharma, adharma, satya, asatya, bandhana, mukta. You can understand. Those who discriminate, they can attain the unity. They can understand the highest reality, and they can become that. And the ninth verse is very, very important. Here, the responsibility is given to you, not to God. Many people think that God is there who will save me. Therefore, they worship God. Who will save me? God will save me. But here in Vedanta, importance is given to human being himself. This is also a verse in Bhagavad Gita, and that is here also. Uddhareta atmanam magnam sansara baridho yogarudhatvam samasadya samyak darshana nishtaya. Samyak darshana, what I was telling, that is here. Samyak darshana nishtaya. Uddhareta, then soyang to you take care of yourself. You rise yourself. You promote yourself. Atmana means by yourself. By yourself. Atmanam, to you. You rise by yourself. You transform by yourself. Nobody can transform you. Nobody can change you. In the first verse, We worshipped teachers. We worshipped scriptures. But here, because of dialectical understanding, we shall understand both the possibilities. But here it is said, no teacher can save you. No teacher can bring transformation in you. No teacher can bring change in you. If you do not desire, if you do not try, suppose a teacher is teaching very well, but if a student has no interest at all, he will not come to class. He will not be attentive in the classroom. So, no teacher can impart teaching on you if you are not interested, if you do not have Shraddha. That means, Udhareta means, that means you try, that is self-report. This is Purusartha. You should try yourself to excel, to be best. To be best. Where? Magnam Sansara Baridha. Baridha means Sagar, ocean. This ocean of empirical world, that means the bondage of the empirical world, where one is merged, where one is involved. The person who is involved in this empirical world, the attachment of the empirical world, he should rise himself to that divinity, So transformation is personal. Transformation is personal. No school, no college, no education system, no teachers, no scriptures can bring you transformation. If you yourself do not want, you have to exert self-effort. You should have a strong desire for self-transformation. Otherwise, you cannot transform. Even that is possible by Samyak Darshana. That is possible by Atma Jnana, Atma Tattva Jnana. Atma Tattva Jnana. If you have Atma Tattva Jnana, no other external agency is necessary to help you. You can excel yourself by through your knowledge, through your Atma Jnana. And this is the last verse of today's session. Sanasya sarvakarmani bhavabandha vimuktaye etyatam panditahi dhirahi atma bhyase upastitahi. One should learn to be free from bondage and karma by the help of a pandita and dhiraha. जो माने विवेकी, those who are men of wisdom, and those who have steady wisdom, those who are sthira, those who have a mind of equanimity, by their teachings, by their help, you should learn how to be free from bondage and from your karma. Okay. So now what we learned in this session. The point is, generally we think that we are educated means we have some degree, we have some information, our knowledge is a database, so that is information. Then we come to the higher level, we say that my knowledge is scientific, I have systematic knowledge, because I know deductive logic, I know the systematic deduction of the conclusion from the premises. My inductive knowledge is also systematic. My laboratory knowledge is systematic. So I have systematic knowledge. That is Vijnana. But here we are not discussing about that Jnana. That Jnana is necessary, that will help you living in this empirical world. That is necessary. But that is not the whole truth. Because ultimately man needs to be happy. Man needs to get peace of mind. So that is acquired by self-realization. That is attained by self-knowledge, Atma Jnana, Tattva Jnana. That is attained by Darshana. So here, Darshana is not only a subject that the course your course is complete. Now you appear the exam and get mark. Here, what we are discussing, we are addressing the real life situation. Here we are addressing our position, our status of life, how my life is precious, how my body is precious, how my mind is precious, how my buddhi is precious. What is the ultimate goal of my life, Purusartha, Parama Purusartha? So darsana is for your entire life. Darsana is not for the first year course, second year course, and third year course. And we should understand our surroundings, where I am, how I am bound. If I am seeking for freedom, then I should understand what is the cause of my bondage. Shankaracharya is giving emphasis on avidya. Avidya is the root cause of bondage. Why it is the root cause? Because all other causes of bondage are sprouted from this root cause. They have been originated from this root cause. You will say that if I shall do sakama karma, then that is the cause of bondage. But the fundamental question is, why should you do sakama karma? Because you do not have the knowledge. You lack the perfect knowledge. You misidentify yourself with your body or mind or this world or your position. Therefore, you are aspiring for sakama karma. Once you have the right knowledge that I am just doing my karma in the sense of duty, it is simply a yajna for the Lords, then no more your karma is a karma for you. It became a yajna. So that is the sense of niskama, and only a jnani can do this. Suppose you want to know bhakti, love, then you must know what is asakti. The asakti that binds me, the attachment that binds me. So I should learn what is bhakti. So these dialectics are understood in knowledge. If your mind is not knowledgeable, if your mind is not open for the dialectical understanding, you will be one-sided. Once you are studying bhakti, you should have a better understanding what is asakti, what binds me, what is the attachment. Attachment is not love. Love is not attachment. Love is really detachment. Detachment is love. So asakti is the cause of a bondage. So if you love only for attachment, that means you don't have the proper knowledge. You are not a jnani. You are not a purusha. This is called naritva. Naritva means this is. I told you that this is not gender. Nari means equality. Nari is the nature of the mind that becomes attached to everything. That is the cause of attachment. So you should have a mind of a Purusha. You should have a mind of a Brahmin. That means you should have a Sattvic mind. You should have a mind of a Vipra. Vipra means Brahmana. Brahmana means Sattvic mind. That means you should have a desire for learning. Jigyansu. You should be Jigyansu. Then you should be a Vidwan. That you learn things, you attain knowledge. And attaining knowledge and attaining peace are one and the same thing. You came to know something means you became happy. Automatically you will become happy. You will live in another world of attachment and the world of detachment. Automatically, so here Atma Bhyase, that means that is the practice of self-realization. You will always practice, you will always make it into practice that yes, the self that is in me, the self that is in me, that is in everything. That is in everything means in animals, in birds, in plants, in entire creation, the same self. This type of knowledge um, will be with you not through mere reading of scriptures, by through Atma Abhyasa. Atma Abhyasa means the practice for self-realization. You should always have that practice. This should be your daily routine life. So we are learning Viveka Chudamani as an extra course only for our personal interest, only for our personal shraddha, only for our personal development. Because by studying this, we shall be clear about many concepts of Vedanta, and that will help you understanding philosophy in future. So with this, we shall end here. If you have any question, then you can ask. Also, those who are online, they can also ask me questions. Rudra ka.
Brahman is one, and Atman and Brahman is non-dual, and Atman is present in all creature. Then why we can say that man is capable to attain this knowledge? Why not crow? Crow has Atman, and Atman is Brahman. Then he can attain this non-dual knowledge.
Is it your question?
Yes.
Yeah. Very good question asked by Rudra. Rudra is asking the question that if this is truth, that every creature has Atman and everything belongs to Brahman. So here man and crow are same in the divine canvas. So the realization that man has, why not the crow? Is it your question? Yes. So that is why we discussed in the second verse that Narajanma Durlabham. Narajanma Durlabham means that life, that status of man is precious because we belong to that level of understanding, that level of consciousness, that level of consciousness. I am giving an example. Suppose your marriage is fixed. You are too much excited that my marriage has been fixed. Now, what are been a premarital video shootings, all these things are now taking place. Photograph. You are so much involved in it. But your parents, they are already married. They have understanding about this situation. It is new for you, but it is not new for them. So they guide you that don't ride motorcycle because you are at that time actually parents deny to ride to drive motorcycle or car because you may cause accident. Okay, so that is the state of your ignorance because you have not experienced it. You have not experienced it what your parents have experienced. So they can observe your change of mind. They can observe your excitement. That means you are excited, but you don't observe your excitement. Clear? Similarly, the crow has that Atman, but the crow cannot observe, cannot understand that it has Atman. Okay. You are excited, but your parents can observe your excitement. Therefore, they are guiding you that don't go outside. Don't go outside. That means you don't do anything. You sit. You sit. That means what does it mean? That means your mind is not stable. Same at the time of death also. At the time of death also, the same instruction is given. That means at the time of happiness and at the time of sorrow, our mind is not normal. Our mind becomes abnormal. So those people who have a stira mind, who have a stable mind, they can guide us. So that is the mind of a Vidwan. So you should be a man of wisdom. So that you should have a stable mind. And that mind is capable of self-realization. That mind is capable of self-realization. Okay. So every creature is a part and parcel of divine creation, but they are not aware of it. Okay. So you are conscious of something. That is your consciousness is objective. That you are conscious of this mobile phone. But you are conscious of your consciousness. That is your privilege. You are conscious of your consciousness. That is called self-consciousness. That you have an ability to have self-consciousness. That I am self-conscious. That means I can witness my consciousness. I can witness the different grades of my consciousness. I can witness my ignorance also. I can witness my anger. I can witness my emotion. But Om is not like that. Om's marriage is also fixed. But Om is the Pragya. He is driving car, motorcycle very nicely. So you two are different persons. You are excited at the time of pleasure and at the time of suffering. Om is not excited. Neither excited, nor agitated, nor disturbed. He is quiet. Because he knows that everything shall pass away. This is appearance, this is not truth. I am Brahmamaya, everything is Brahmamaya. This is your understanding. And that is your mindset. So day by day, by this Atma Jnana, by this Tattva Jnana, you will make up your mind. You will make up your understanding. What will happen by that? By this practice, by this Atma Abhyasa, what will happen? You will be forgive others, you will love others, you will dedicate your life for others, you will do charity, you will become more social. This is the result. You will at least you will be free. You will attain freedom. So Shankaracharya believes in Jivana Mukti. Shankaracharya believes in Jivana Mukti. That means freedom in this life. You will attain freedom in this life. In the suffering, in all disturbances, you will attain freedom. So you understand the difference between the crow and the man. Both are the creatures of the divine creation. Both have Atma, but one knows that it has Atma and the other is ignorant that it has Atma. So from this you understand how knowledge is precious. Whole life, the crow lives its life with this ignorance that I am a crow, I am a crow, I am a crow. So there are three types of human beings. One is animal man, another is man, and the third one is divine man. In case of animal man, you appear to be like a man, but you have all animal qualities. You are angry, you are easily hungry, you are excited, you are behaving just like an animal. So this is the stage of animal man. And in case of a man, you at least control your animal qualities. You behave like a rational being. So this is man. And the third one is divine man. That means not only you are good, you can make good for others. You can become God for others. You can transform the life of others. You can change the life of others. You shall become a Mahapurusha. You shall become a saint. You shall have all the divine qualities. Itu Atma Jnana. When you have Atma Jnana, when you identify yourself as the supreme consciousness, that is divine man. So animal man, man, and divine man. Understand? Any other question?
କହିଲେ କି ଆସକ୍ତି ଯେ root cause of bondage ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି ଯଦି ଆସକ୍ତି ରଖିବା ସେଇଟା କେମିତି bondage ହେଇପାରିବ?
Good, very good question. Jai. This girl Pragya is a very brilliant student and very sincere student of our class. She is asking the question that if asakti is the cause of bondage, then any type of asakti can be bondage. If you are attached to God, that is also a sign of bondage. You are 100% correct. Therefore, I told that if you go to temple without having Atma Jnana, that will never help you. Attachment is bad. Even attachment for your good karma, that is also not niskama. Attachment is bad. You should not have the kartrutva bhava. Therefore, I said that love for God is not the attachment for God. You should have a sense of a detachment. Number one. Number two, if at least you are attached, so you should choose the object of your attachment. The greater is better. The greater is better. Okay. But in the true sense, in the Vedantic sense, attachment even to God is bad. Suppose you are attached to one religion, then you will have no interest for other religions. That means you are divided. You belong to a form. So become formless. Okay. So attachment to God is also not equal with detachment. Detachment, Vairagya Bhava, is the highest value. So don't have attachment to a particular God. You should develop a sense of all inclusiveness. That my attachment should not be the cause of my bondage. That is, you are saying that attachment for a small thing, that is a iron chain, and attachment for a God, that is the golden chain. But both are chains that will bind you. Suppose you are chained by a golden chain. Can you think that you are free? You are not free. So attachment is bad. Attachment is the cause of bondage. So this should be the height of your devotion. Otherwise you will run after the place, that I will go to Puri or I will go to Dwarika. There only Lord exists. I should have direct eye contact, otherwise I fail to pursue. This is not devotion. This is attachment. Devotion and attachment are different. With this, the session is over. In next month, this class is only once in a month. So we shall take the next class in the next month. Thank you. Thank you all.